Hi guys, welcome back to Fairies Tutorials. In this session, we're looking at CSEC Food Nutrition and Health Question 3 from the exam year 2023. Now, let's take a look at this question. Part 1. Outline the multimix principle. 3 marks. Next, list 2 types of food mixes other than the 3 mix. 2 marks. Name 1 factor that should be considered when planning meals. 1 mark. Create a 3 mix packed lunch for primary school students aged 5 to 12 years. Next, the menu below is to be served at a graduation dinner, and that's a graduation menu to you, right, guys? In the space below, sketch and label a cover to be used for serving this meal. Let's look at the first question. Outline the multi-mix principle. So this question requires you to outline the multi-mix principle, and the total marks to gain is 3. Right? Now, when you're answering, ensure that you answer as much so that you can get your full marks. Now, let us look at something that you may include. The multi-mix principle is a food combining method used throughout the English-speaking Caribbean. It involves the combination of at least 2 complementary food groups, so optimal nutrition is attained at each meal. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Good? Additionally, because you're outlining, you may can include stuff such as the types of the 4 food groups that are used when we're using the multi-mix principle. And if you want to give an example of the mix, you can. But whatever you do, ensure that you're outlining, and whatever you outlined, it is adequate to give you your full marks if you should receive a question like this. Next question. List 2 types of food mixes other than the 3 mix, and this question is worth 2 marks. So other than the 3 mix, there is a 2 or double mix, or 4 or quadruple mix, right? Now, as it relates to the 2 mix, there are 2 options. There is staple and legumes, or legumes and food from animals. Now, for the quadruple mix, we use all the 4 food groups that are used in the mixes, right? So the 4 food groups, you remember there are 6 food groups, but we only use 4 when we're creating the mix, and they are staple, food from animals, legumes, and vegetables, right? So we wouldn't need to include fats and oils because you would already get fats and oil from food from animal groups. Good? The group that is not included when we're doing the multi-mix principle is the fruits group, right? Because the same nutrients that you would get from vegetables is the same vitamins and minerals that you would get from fruits. Good? Next question. Name 1 factor that should be considered when planning meals. And this question is only 1 mark, so it's okay to just name any 1 mark that is any 1 factor that comes to your mind, but we have quite a few here. So there's nutritional requirements. So we look at age, sex, occupation, physical activity, and health of the person. There's also the occasion, food preparation facilities, the affordability and availability of food, time available for preparing and cooking food, cooking facilities available, time and energy for the preparation. You also look at tradition, customs, and religion, and also variety, because you would want variety in color, texture, and flavor, temperature as well, garnishes, decoration, serving of the dishes, and so on. And very importantly, final one on the list is individual requirements, because each age group have different requirements. So it is best for us to think of these when we are planning menus. Now, the question only requires you to do 1 factor, so you may put time and energy for preparation. You may put only occasion. You may put only affordability and availability, and so on. Good. Next part, create a 3-mix packed lunch for primary school aged 5 to 12 years. Now, when it comes on to a 3-mix or a triple mix, there can be 3 options, right? Now, the first option that you can have, remember, staple is always the primary food source that remains, food group that remain rather. It doesn't matter what other group that we add to it, right? So first we have staple, legumes, food from animals. Another option could be staple, legumes, and vegetables, especially if this person is vegan, right? You'd have to get the protein source from the legumes group. Another option could also be staple, food from animals, and vegetables. So these are 3 ways in which we can have a triple mix, right? And remember, we mix the meals like this so we can get adequate nutrition. Now let us look at some of the suggested ideas for this packed lunch, right? And TCS foods, that are foods that are requiring their time and temperature control for safety, we have to ensure that we put those in an insulated carrier, right? So if the food is supposed to keep warm, if it's supposed to keep hot, then the insulated carrier would ensure that that happens, right? First option we have here is hamburger bun. That's coming from staples. The soy burger patty actually comes from the legumes group because soy is plant-based. It's a textured vegetable protein, and therefore soy, as in soybeans, is from the legumes group. So the first option we have here, we have staples, we have legumes, and we also have food from animals, right? And that's the first example that we have there on the list. So hamburger bun, soy burger patty, and bacon. Good. Another option could be bread slices, ham and cheese, or it could only be cheese, and of course some lettuce there as well. So this second option is referring to the staples, food from animals, and vegetables, which is the last one listed here on the list. So staples, guys, food from animals, which is the ham and the cheese, or it may be one of them, and of course the lettuce there would be from vegetables. Now the final suggestion is wheat crackers, which is from staple, peanut butter, which would come, the peanuts now would come from the legume groups, and also to add some vegetables to that, we could have baby carrots with some dressing, with some ranch dressing, right? So this final suggestion here would be staples, legumes, and also vegetables, which would take away the third one there. So you can be versatile. You don't have to, whatever food choices that you select, make sure that is something that is suitable for children between 5 to 12 years as well, and something that is easy to eat as well. Most of this suggestion is sandwich, where the TCS food is there. We would also ensure that we bring these items in an insulated carrier so we can have temperature control for the food to be safe. Good. Next part, the menu below is to be served at a graduation dinner. Is below, sketch and label a cover to be used for serving this meal. Now, do we remember what a cover is? A cover is the place setting for one person, one diner. So whatever table appointment that person would use, that would consider a cover, right? Now you're supposed to sketch this cover, or we may say draw, right? So you're going to draw where you would put your plates, where you would put your knife and your fork, where you would put your glasses, etc. Now let us look at the graduation dinner menu. First thing, the first step that you have to do is to decide how many courses, right? Now, based on this menu here, just take a minute and take a look before I say it or tell you guys how many courses you think we have. Let's run through the dishes. So we have coconut lamb fingers, pumpkin soup with garlic buttered rolls, fish cakes, and mango dip, right? Next up, you have stuffed chicken wings with peppercorn sauce, spinach stuffed lasagna with bamboo shoots and basil sauce, beef Wellington with mushroom sauce, and then you have sweet potato mash, rice pilaf, herbed couscous, and then the next options you have green salad with feta cheese, 3-bean salad on a carrot bed, stuffed tomato basket, and then the last section you have mango pie and ice cream. Now, based on the dishes that are listed, can you tell how many courses that we have? Now remember, a course is the way how the meal is divided up, right? A meal may be a 1 course, it can be a 2 course, a 3, 4, 5, and so on. We go up the ladder, right? Now, based on the dishes here, the first set, what do you think this first set is? So if you notice, there is more than 1 appetizer here, right? Let me just change the color of the pen because it's clashing with what the color that I have here. Good. Now here we have the coconut lamb fingers, the pumpkin soup with garlic bread, buttered rolls, and the fish cakes and mango dip, right? So all of those dishes are appetizers, right? So first we can say we have the appetizer. All right, let me just hold on for a second. Just adjust the pen. So appetizer. So those are the appetizers option. So the next thing that we're seeing here, we're seeing where you have stuffed chicken wings with peppercorn sauce, spinach stuffed lasagna with a bamboo shoot and basil sauce, beef Wellington with mushroom sauce. Guys, all of this is your protein options, right? So your entree, your protein options, right? So there are 3 options here. Like with the appetizer, you also have 3 options for protein dish, right? Now a main course is made up of the protein, the carbs, and the vegetables, right? So all of this option here, so down here we see sweet potato mash, rice pilaf, herbed couscous. What you notice about all of these items, they are starch, right? So we could call them our carbs. So those are the carbs dish. And then we have Greek salad with feta cheese, the 3-bean salad and carrot, and the stuffed tomato basket. These are the veg options, right? So these are the vegetable options. Up here, as I said before, is our protein options. All right. So if a main course, so all of this would be considered as the main course, right? Good. Now, if we have appetizer and we have the main course, how many courses is that so far? We have 2, right? Good. All right. So our next thing that we have here, you notice it is mango pie and ice cream. So these are sweet items. They're closing off the appetite. So these are the dessert options, right? So if there are appetizers, there is a main course and a dessert, how many courses are we offering on this graduation dinner? If your answer was 3, you're indeed correct, right? So when you are setting the table, right, before you sketch, if you get a question like this again, before you sketch your place setting or your cover, you need to identify how many courses. The amount of courses that we're offering will tell you the amount of table appointments and the type of table appointments that you need, the type of flatware, the type of chinaware, the type of glassware, in some cases, etc. Good. Now, what we're going to do next, now you are based on what is listed here, I would suggest that you choose an appetizer from the list. You choose the main course and also the dessert. So I would pick out the menu, put it to the side to show them what it is that I'm actually serving, right? Now, as it relates to the pumpkin soup, garlic buttered rolls, if I'm going to choose that for an appetizer, I will definitely need a soup bowl, as you can see here in figure A, right? In figure A, you need a soup bowl, and if you're having soup, you also need a soup spoon. Good. And now the soup spoon and the knife are on the same side, which is your right hand side. And remember, the blade of the knife should always turn inside towards the plate. Now there is only one fork on your left hand side. Why is that? Because we're only offering the only time that we'll use a fork is for the dinner, right? There is no other fork for the appetizer, because in this option we have chosen the soup, but you're only required to do one sketch, right? I only have 2 pictures here just to show you an example. Of course, if this person is going to have ice cream, as you can see, the dessert spoon is there and the handle of the spoon is placed towards the right hand side, so they would just take it down when needed. So based on the sketch that you have, it will tell the examiners what this person is having. Good. You also have your bread and butter plate there. Any meal more than a 3-course, it is always nice to accompany with your bread and butter plate. Good. Now, if we were supposed to choose another option, right? Say let us go with coconut lamb fingers. You notice in figure B, there's no soup spoon and there's no soup bowl. And the reason for that is this student at her graduation dinner is not going to have the soup option, right? So they may have the fish cake or they may have the coconut lamb fingers, and that is why you have 2 forks here. So you eat from outside in. So the first fork here would be for the appetizer, and the second, of course, you see there is your dinner fork. There's also a charger there. That's just a decorative plate. We don't serve food on chargers. It's just for basically decoration and just for place setting, right? Also, if this person was supposed to have the mango pie, they would require a fork. Good. So instead of a spoon here, you could sketch your fork up there, right? And when you put your fork up top, make sure that the handle is pointing to the left hand side there as well. Good. So based on, you may draw some circles to identify what it is that you're sketching, right? And so on. So remember, the first thing you do, you check how many courses and then you plan accordingly. Of course, juices and wine glasses here that we have here are optional, but they're just there for place setting purposes. But if you did not have any of these and you just have, it is always courteous to serve water, you wouldn't need to have the red wine glass or the white wine glass, right? Those are not really necessary at this point, but it would be nice if you have like a water glass and a juice glass there, and you can draw circles to represent what you're doing, but ensure that you label so the examiner know exactly what you're referring to, and ensure that you understand the question. Good. Now that is it for this question, question 3 of 2023. And as usual, I just want to wish you good luck. Don't forget to watch those ads, subscribe, like the video, and also share with persons who you know will find this video useful. Thank you for making it Fairies Tutorials.